how you got into the space that you're in right now, how you became the Dr. Tamara that you are sitting at this table with us today.
A lot of that had to do with, old school. So I was born in 68. So everything was all about going to school, get the education. In our community, it's about catching the paper, right? So we can get a good job. But my mother always had a business. She had a cheesecake business. It was called Yum's Cheesecake. So that was my taste of entrepreneurship. So we always had to help her. And so that's all. And then my grandmother, she had a beauty salon. So between the two of them, in our community, we were in a Black community in Chicago, we would go to those stores and they were Black ownership. But then all of a sudden it started changing. The diversity of everything started changing. We no longer started owning the stores. Other nationalities were owning the stores. And thus for, we weren't buying Black like we used to because of other nationalities coming in, and our money was going out. So as we speed forward now, the boy's dad and I, when we were married, when we were dating, we got into business together while we were dating. And then when we were married, we were in business. We had 2 successful businesses. I was a legal drug runner, pharmaceutical.
I was about to say legal drug runner. Okay.
Facebook. Legal drug runner. We owned a pharmaceutical courier company, and I was the first Black female here in Atlanta to have that contract. It was like 750 stores. We had about 65 drivers, and I had made my first million at 32 by being in pharmaceutical. Now, my background is different, architecture, interior design, but I had just had Alex, and I was going through postpartum depression, literally. And so doing that kind of allowed me, I didn't want to be in that field anymore because they weren't paying here in Georgia well for interior designers, architecture at the time. And so that kind of led me into the entrepreneurship by working that pharmaceutical courier company. And we had a photography company where we did all the nightclub photography and like 5 nightclub photography, and that was in the digital space. That's when digital cameras was coming out. The flip phones, but we were doing that. In the interim of losing the business, I started going into network marketing, and the reason that is because I was doing $150,000 a month, and I'm like, no job is going to pay me that per month. Okay.
If you find one, let us know.
Right, exactly. And so because of that, I wanted the relationship marketing, the network marketing, or multi-level, whatever you want to call it, it gave an opportunity, but what it did is it allowed me to meet other people and travel the world. So in doing so, the boys would have to introduce me at events, and they had to do public speaking, they had to do cold calling, and they were, I think, 9 and 11 or 10 and 12 at the time as they were introducing me. Daddy and I had, gotten a divorce, and I remarried, and they have been a part of every single thing that I do, whether they like it or not. And I started going into trading, and my dad is a retired options trader, futures trader. And I went into trading, and I said, you guys need to learn a skill set. Because what's happening now is, where the issue is, they don't teach these kids a skill set. They just have them go to school. So learning the skill set of trading is something that's going to always be with them. If you're not going to do barbering, not going to do construction, if you're not going to be an electrician or, HVC, which is a skill set where you can always make money on, you can at least learn the skill set of trading, and you can be able to move money around. That's how we got into the space of financial literacy, because the individuals that we were with that were in our community, we had over 3,500 people in our community trading, they were using their bill money to trade with. And that is what took us down the lane of financial literacy, because we're like, don't you have credit, or don't you have some other money that you can use? Don't use your bill money. So my husband has started doing penny stock trading first.
Okay.
And then we got into the Forex space.
Gotcha.
I love crypto, so I took a couple $100 and made a couple of $100,000 on the crypto side. Marcus was more future, and Alex he was more Forex, and Alex liked more of the option side. So we all had our own interests. And in doing so, that's where it kind of spiraled out to this family situation. Because I told him, if you don't learn the skill set of trading, you're getting out of my house.